Hey folks, it's Sean from Pride Pinball and of course my Christmas lights. I just want to do a quick video to go over my setup. This was my first year using RGB pixels right there, and I'm pointing the wrong direction. So I used a very simple setup just so I could learn it for the first year, and I've learned some things about how to do them, how to set them up. Ignore my messy garage. And I want to do a video for me so I can look at it next year to remind me how I had it set up in case I need it. And if anybody who is new to Pixels wants to take a look at a simple setup, then this video is for you. If you're an expert, then you don't want to see this. But in any case, let's take a look. This is at the edge of my garage. I just have a simple HP laptop that I bought at Walmart Black Friday. It was like $150 on Black Friday. That's what I'm using to run the xLights software. I do use xLights, which this is my first year using xLights. I've done LOR in the past. I sequenced my own songs for the first time, and it's pretty easy doing pixels with xLights, so that worked out really well. I've learned a lot on that. If you watch my show, you can probably tell which song was the last song I sequenced because the effects got a little bit better. But anyway, so I have I did all my sequencing on my desktop inside, and then just transferred it. In fact, there's a USB stick still in there. Whoops, sorry. So anyway, that I had some spare pixels sitting by. I had to test a few things. Audio is coming out of the PC and over to, with my LOR setup, I had a mini director and the whole house transmitter, which I'm just using the transmitter, which works very well. The signal gets out to the street and almost to the end of the block, so I'm transmitting far enough for people to tune in and get the music. The antenna runs up here. I just ran it through the side of the garage door and tied it onto this eye hook right here with this pixel strip, and it worked great. So no problems there. Underneath here is where I have my F48 with it's got a 5-volt power supply, and then the F48 board with the Cat 6 cable coming off of it. But and then those go out to, I have 5 of them, so I have 5 receivers out in the yard. I did that because in my mind it made logical sense to put the controllers as close to the props as possible, and like I would do with the LOR controllers, my LOR controllers set out in the yard next to the props. That way there's less wiring going on. So my first controller, or smart receiver, runs over here. And I just use these boxes. I had to buy these on Amazon because Walmart quit selling the ones I had before. And they're just the heavy duty boxes. We've had rain, and this one you can see is sitting on a cinder block. We did have rain and nothing has gotten inside. So I am doing 12-volt pixels. Here's the smart receiver Ethernet connection in the side right here. I got these from Wired Watts. Wired Watts, because I bought the power supply. I bought some power supplies from Wired Watts. I do have power injection if I need it, which actually I ended up not needing it. But that's the inside of my box. Just the boards are screwed onto a piece of plywood that I cut to fit down in the bottom of the box. And like I said, these boxes, I had no problems with rain. As you can see, I actually have an extra port. I planned on doing some other stuff and then ended up not doing it. But, and then these are my power injection ports there. These are my controller ports that run to the lights. And on this box, which, like I said, I've learned some stuff. So I've got one port goes up to the left gable here. One port goes to this vertical here. And then one port goes to these 3 candy canes. And I wish in setting up the candy canes, I learned how to do virtual strings, and which helped. Because when I punched the pixels in here, I skipped the first one because I didn't want to just cut one pixel off the string. So I skipped the first pixel. And these Boscoyo candy canes take 99 pixels. And these are just mounted rebar in the ground, kind of at an angle, so the candy canes sit back a little bit. My yard is kind of sloped. But I do have 3 candy canes running off that one port, the first one, and then the 2 virtual strings. I know that one's crooked, but this is takedown, so who cares if it's crooked? So that's my first controller. My second controller sits over here, and it's the same setup, although I don't have power injection in here. I've got extra fuses that I got from AutoZone because I did blow some fuses. I inadvertently wired a couple strings wrong, so I had to go back and fix them. But fortunately, the fuses blew on the smart receiver. So this box controls the right side of the gable, then this portion of the eave right here, and this vertical, and then the entire outline of my garage. Which now, when I said I learned about virtual strings and how to set them up and how they're useful, there are only 40 nodes in this vertical. In fact, all the verticals are the same. I have 8 of them. And they all have 40 nodes. And I just cut off and used liquid electrical tape on the end. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to put on a pigtail so that I can add some other stuff on the house. There's the center of my house. The window is a PVC frame that just fits inside the window. It's not attached. Please ignore the leaves. As you can see, it's just snug. I cut it in there. I sat here at the window and built it until it was just snug enough to fit inside the frame or in the window. Works very well. Has stayed up all season, no problems. And these are the lights underneath or along the eave of the house. They're attached with those pipe clips from Holiday Coro. They work really well. Pretty easy to put up, and they work really well. They're even easier to put up if you have a works switch driver, so you can have a drill and a screwdriver bit. This is my door frame. All of my verticals are held in by tent stakes, cheap tent stakes from Walmart. Some of them are held up with the tent stake and then these mini bungee cords to keep them tight. And I did put, the top of them are just held in with eye bolts and then just zip tied to it. Not a problem. Worked really, really well. This window, same way, just a PVC frame. Come over here. Oh, I missed it. There was another deal over there. This vertical, ignore the neighbor's dogs. Again, just a tent stake holding them down. Here's another box here, and as you can see, it has water on it because we had rain recently. It's sitting on some bricks. Here's the power cable coming to it, and there's actually something else that was plugged in there, but I'll show you with the water. They're nice and dry inside. Not a problem. That worked out really well. So for next year, I'm going to have to get me some more of these boxes because I'm going to need more controllers, more smart receivers, I should say. Where's the... Well, there was another plug here, and now I don't see it. Oh, because I put it up here in the bush. So there's another extension cord here. And this is the Holiday Coro Tune 2 sign. I wanted something different. I had some before, but I wanted to try something different. And I will probably never do this again because that's a lot of lights to push through that coroplast. Okay. So 4 of my receiver boxes are up by the house. And then this year I had one out in the yard for my Boscoyo trees and my arches. And I just laid these plugs. I actually have those cable guards that go over them. And there's water on top of this one too. But there, nice and dry. This one does have the potential for power injection. However, I did not need it. These are the Boscoyo trees. I didn't, again, because I didn't totally understand virtual strings, I didn't put the stars on the trees. My driveway has 3 candy canes on each side. I actually have 4 candy canes, but I only did 3. And then these are my arches. These are with square pixels, zip tied. This worked out pretty well. I'll probably redo them next year. But I was trying to do, and you can see where I replaced a couple pixels. I came out here and marked where the bad one was, and then just replaced those 2 on that. These particular square pixels I had problems with acting up. I had intended to use the Boscoyo arches, just the large arches with the single row of pixels. In fact, these were not intended for arches. I was going to use these square pixels for something else because I wanted something flat, and I ended up not building that prop. So I ended up using these. I could not get the arches to follow the curve of the Boscoyo, the black arch coroplast like the trees. And these turned out really nice. They're just too big. I need more props in my yard, which I've already got stuff going on for that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna keep the 3 Boscoyo trees, and then I think I'm gonna add 2 more trees that I'll make out of pixel strip, and then I think I will add a mega tree behind it, so they'll be in a triangle formation there for next year. And then I'll do something. When I was using LOR, my mega tree set up there in that flower bed where that pot is, but I think I'm going to do something else up there next year. So anyway, that is my beginner's display, and it's only going to get bigger next year. So thanks for watching. Have a happy new year. Goodbye.